This is a ModTub cold plunge, and in this video, I'm gonna do a deep dive review and we're gonna talk about things like ownership, maintenance, and the most fun part, use. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is ownership. Buying a ModTub is very simple. You just visit dmjr.co/ModTub, use discount code MOSS, and it'll save you $100. These are built right here in America, in Dallas, Texas, handmade. I actually got to visit the factory and see how these are built, and it was very, very impressive. For $3,000, you can get the ModTub cold plunge with everything you need to get cold down to 39 degrees. For a little bit more, you can pick a different color. They come in the standard color of gray, which looks beautiful, but they have a lot of different color choices. As you see here, I have blue for my cold plunge and I have red for my hot plunge, which I also have a video reviewing both of these together. If you'd like to see that, I'll have it at the end of this video. Now, like I mentioned, for $500 extra, you can turn your cold plunge into a hot plunge as well, so you can go back and forth depending on the weather outside and what you're feeling you need. But to recap, for $3,000, you get everything you need to get cold. Now, with the purchase of the ModTub Standard, it's gonna come in the gray color, which is beautiful, but you're also gonna get the chiller, all the tubes that are gonna be prefabbed and ready for you to just hook up, a beautiful, massive filter that's gonna help keep your water nice and clean, all of the electrical components you need, and the housing box to keep your electrical components safe from the elements outside. Now, there are some options you might wanna opt in for, one of them being the step stool that does have a drawer underneath, a great place to keep your extra filters and any of the chemicals that you might wanna use to keep your water clean. You can also purchase a skimming net, which is a great tool to keep a lot of the debris out of your cold plunge to help keep your water cleaner longer and your filter cleaner longer. But ModTub has done a great job making it very, very easy for you to just buy your ModTub, get it to your house, hook it up, put hose water in it, and start getting cold really, really fast. Now let's talk about the space required for the ModTub. So we're gonna go ahead and measure this. Now, on the back side, you do have an electrical box that sticks out, and you're gonna need a little bit of room to open that up. They recommend 6 to 12 inches. We'll use 6. So with that 6 inches, you're gonna need a minimum space of 36 inches deep. As far as the width goes, from handle to handle, this cooler is 52 inches for the cooler itself. Now you're gonna need a little bit more room for your chiller. So you're gonna need a total of 5 feet 6 inches at a minimum, so you have plenty of space to get to everything and for everything to breathe. Now, height-wise, with the lid closed, you're looking at 32 inches. A couple nice things that I like about the cooler itself is you do have these very difficult to open at first bungee straps, which are heavy duty, and it's enough to keep your kids from being able to open the lid and jump into the cooler when you don't want them to. When you open up your cooler, you're gonna see that the lid will stay propped open, which is really, really nice. The internal dimensions of your plunge itself, 43 inches long by just over 2 feet wide. And then you always wanna leave about 6 inches of room for your water when you're getting in, but you have just over 24 inches of depth. Just for comparison, I wanna show you my Ice Barrel 300 compared so you can see the difference in size. The Ice Barrel does not have anything off the backside, but it is a 36-inch barrel. It's a perfect circle. And then on this setup, I have all my components externally off the side, and you're gonna need just over 5 feet. So 5 feet, 2 inches to have everything here. And then as far as height goes, almost identical, 32 inches. Now, the internal dimensions of the Ice Barrel 300, which is insulated as well, are 32 inches circular, and then at the deepest point, you have 27 inches. So it's a little bit of a different style plunge, but a lot of people ask me the difference, which one they would go with. It's really up to you. Everybody's different sizes and everybody has a different style of cold plunge. So this is just a little comparison so you can see truthfully what the difference in sizes are. So now that we've talked about owning one and how much space you're gonna need, a couple other things that you're gonna wanna take into account is that the cooler itself weighs about 90 pounds dry. But once you fill it up with 100 gallons of water, it's gonna weigh over 750 pounds before a person gets into it. So those are some things to just take into consideration. And now that we've talked about owning it, let's talk about maintaining it and the function of the ModTub. One of the things I really like about ModTub is that the entire inside is very smooth and it's extremely durable. 2 inches of insulation is gonna help keep your water cold, or it's gonna help keep your water hot, depending on the setting that you have it in, whether you have the heater or you have the cooler on. There's only 2 points of entry for water, and those are on this side here next to the chiller, and that is going to be your outlet where the water is going to push back in after going through the filter and the chiller. And then at the very bottom is going to be your inlet, and that is where the water is going to go in, get sucked in through your pump, go through your filter, go through your chiller, and then shoot right back into your cooler. So if you don't know how a cold plunge actually works, basically you just take a tub of water, and then you have a pump that pulls the water from that tub with some tubing. That pump will then go through a filter. Sometimes you have the filter in the front, sometimes you have the filter after the pump. But either way, it's usually going to go through some sort of filtration before it goes into the chiller. Then the water is going to go through all the chilling lines, get really nice and cold, and then shoot back into the plunge. And that's just going to continue moving water, which is going to help keep your water clean, and it's going to help obviously cool your water down. Now, if you have the heating component, you're going to bypass your chiller or just turn your chiller off, turn your heater on, and then the same thing is going to happen. Water is going to get sucked through your pump, go through your filter, go through your heating exchange, and then the water is going to shoot back into your plunge. It's really cool to be able to go from cold to hot, and that's my setup that I have here. This is my cold plunge, that is my hot plunge. Before this video, we're going to stay focused on the cold plunge. I just think it's cool to know that that is an option. Hey buddy, I love you, buddy. Give me a high five. ModTub uses the Active Aqua 1/4 horsepower chiller, which I was a little concerned with because it is so small. However, I have not had an issue with keeping my water exactly the temperature that I want. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, you know I'm a huge fan of Active Aqua. I've been using them for years. I've had them outside here in the Florida elements, even though they say they're indoor rated, but they've been working like a charm, and I'm not the only person who recommends or uses Active Aqua. Now, ModTub's using Active Aqua, which is great. These are able to get you down to 39 degrees, and the operation is extremely simple. There's an inlet where the water goes into the chiller, and there's an outlet where the water comes out of the chiller. Oh my gosh, you found a little dinosaur. That's so cool, bud. Use is extremely simple. There's a set button, which is what you're gonna press to set your temperature. There's up and down arrows here to change your temperature. And then there's a boost function, which you don't have to use, but if it is really, really hot outside, or if you're really trying to cool your water down quickly, you can turn the boost function on 24/7, and that's just gonna expedite your cooling time. There's also a power button for turning this off. On the right side of this chiller, there's also a power on-off toggle if you do wanna just completely shut the power off in the event that you're bypassing it with hot water, which is what we do here sometimes too. Now let's take a peek on the back side over here. So one thing I really love about the ModTub is how quiet it is. You actually can't hear anything. And another neat thing about the chiller is once you've reached your desired temperature, the chiller doesn't turn on. It actually water just flows through it until it needs to turn on, which is really cool. It helps to save energy, which is another thing I really love about the ModTub, is it only pulls about 7 to 9 amps, and that's when everything's running. So it's extremely efficient and it's extremely quiet. This is something you could have in your garage, you could have in your gym, and it's not gonna bug everybody with a constant humming. The pump is super quiet. You can't even hear it right now, right? Over here, you have a 20 micron filter on the backside, which is really, really easy to change. It's one thing I do wanna show off here is how to change the filter. So I am gonna demo that here in a second, but the cool thing is, all the water from the bottom goes in. There's a shutoff valve at the bottom, goes through a tube that goes in through your pump. The pump then goes through this little L bracket or your heat exchange, depending on what you have, through the filter, through the chiller, and then back into the ModTub. And then over here is gonna be your electrical box, which is where you can hide all of your cables. You can keep everything out of the elements, keep that nice and plugged in, and then you're gonna have your pump control, which is a cool spot where you can actually control the power and watts going through your pump. So I wanna quickly demo how to change the filter. Since we are talking about maintenance here, changing your filters out about once a month is gonna be a part of owning the ModTub. The first thing you're gonna wanna always do is shut off the power, which will turn off your pump. It will turn everything off on your system, keeping it safe and obviously keeping water from flowing. So the second thing you're gonna do is you're actually gonna come down here to the bottom, where you're going to flip and actually close off your water. The next thing we're gonna do is come back here and actually do the same thing on the back side of the filter. We're just gonna pull the lever up, which is going to shut the water off, keeping the water from flowing through the filter while you're changing it. Now we're gonna simply unscrew the filter. They do have a tool for this. If you have it on a little too tight at first and you want to use the tool, that might be helpful. But I've learned that you don't have to over tighten these things. Then you just take out your old nasty filter, which is nasty. You can see that just gets nasty. Even though I filter the water and I do use the chemicals that ModTub recommends, your filters are still gonna get pretty gross. You're also gonna wanna dump out the nasty water from your filter canister before putting a brand new filter in. Now we've got our brand new filter. You're definitely gonna wanna take off the plastic I know that seems silly, but some people just don't know. So it does have a protective coating of plastic around it. Take that off so the filter can breathe. Put it back into the canister. A lot of people find it better to fill this back up with water, which is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put some water in here. Doesn't have to be full all the way to the top, but that just helps prevent air from getting trapped in the system when you turn everything back on. Now we're just gonna take our canister and we're gonna screw it on there, and you should be good to go. Now we're gonna wanna turn our levers back to on. So push this one down, turn this one back on, and then turn the system on again. And at this point, water should start flowing right back through the system. Everything's turned back on, but now I've got a fresh filter that's gonna help keep my water nice and clean. So now that we've changed the filter, another really important thing to note about owning and maintaining your ModTub is on the back, connected to the pump itself, is gonna be a small little black box, and that is actually going to tell you the flow rate of water going through. The ideal range for it to be perfect is gonna be anywhere between 41 and 44. But if it starts to get under 40, that's the time when you know you need to change your filter out. Otherwise, the water is going to flow a lot slower, and you're not gonna have an optimally clean or cold plunge. All right, we've talked about owning it, we've talked about maintaining it, now let's talk about using it. And I wanna go over a couple of the key ways that you can use your ModTub to maximize owning your ModTub, using your ModTub, and really getting all the benefits out of your ModTub. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the fun part for me. It's 47 degrees in the plunge right now. The ideal temperature is anywhere under 60. So when you get into a cold plunge for the first time, one of the things you're gonna notice a lot of people do in the beginning is keep their arms out. It sucks whether you keep your arms out or put your arms in, so you might as well get the full experience and drop down to where the water is just at your collarbone. Hey, bud. The ideal time for a cold plunge is anywhere between 1 minute and 3 minutes. Now, some people can only stay in for 30 seconds in the very beginning, and a lot of people, once you start getting conditioned, you can actually start staying in longer than 5 minutes. But truthfully, one of the best ways to maximize the benefits of the cold plunge is to feel your body and understand what your tolerance levels are. The whole point behind getting cold in the first place is to put your body in an uncomfortable but controlled state of stress. When you get into cold water, your body activates those fight or flight mechanisms. There's a ton of endorphins, dopamine that's rushing through your system, and it's a really cool experience if you've never experienced it before. So you want to try to keep every part of your body under the water during your cold plunge. And one of the greatest things about the ModTub is you do have a jet that is pushing water on you, which breaks up the thermal layer that your skin is gonna create when you're inside cold water. Now, if you're ever inside an ice bath where the water is standing still, you'll notice that it almost gets warm, or it almost gets comfortable after about a minute or so. Your body's actually going to create a thermal layer on the outside of the skin to help keep you warm. A few of the mechanisms that happen while you're in cold water, you may notice your toes and your fingers get cold first. That's because your body starts to pull blood from the extremities of your body and start to pull it into the core to help protect your vital organs from freezing. Those are just natural processes that your body does when you get into cold water and experience the cold water therapy. Now, there's a few different ways to sit inside your ModTub. Now, the most ideal is going to be to sit kind of like this with your knees bent, your feet against the wall, your shoulders under the water, and you can even lay your head back. It's very, very comfortable because you don't have any jets or anything in the way on your back. Another way a lot of people like to do is kind of sit cross-legged in here. Just depends on your size, and we've even fit more than one person in our ModTubs at a time. Like, kids like to jump in the hot tub, even the cold plunge together with their friends, which is great. Number one questions people have when they purchase a cold plunge is, can I get fully underwater? Now, I'm 6'1", 210 pounds, and it's the winter, it's hibernating season for me, so I've been eating a ton of cookies, so I might even weigh a little bit more than that. But for right now, I'm gonna show you exactly how I would get fully underwater. I'd cross my legs, grab the back here, but it's very easy for me to get fully underwater and do a full head dunk when I'm in the middle of my cold plunge. So as you can also see, there's a lot of room for my arms. And one of the things you also would like to do when you're in the middle of your cold plunge, once you start getting comfortable with the temperature, is one, you can turn the temperature down, you can stay in a little bit longer, but also start to move and even start to shake. You wanna actually move the body while you're in the cold water, because that's also gonna help break up all the thermal layer that's happening inside your skin. It's gonna help enhance the benefits of your cold plunge. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get out. And while I'm wet, I'm just gonna go ahead and compare against the Ice Barrel 300. Now, I'm a huge fan of Ice Barrel, I always have been. And then when the Ice Barrel 300 came out, a lot of people purchased them because they love Ice Barrel, and they also love the fact that it's insulated and it's chiller ready. But one of the main differences between the Ice Barrel 300 and the ModTub is really the shape. Now this is a larger circle, so I have much more room for my arms to get spread out. As you can tell, I'm able to get fully underwater as far as my collarbones. So the amounts of my body in the water are the same, but I'm not able to really sit the same way with my knees up. I mean, I can, but the most comfortable way is to sit with your legs crossed and have your arms up on the armrests. Now, if you are taller, a little hack is that there is a small seat on the back side, but not on the front side. So you can turn around and your butt's gonna be able to sit a little bit deeper. And then the number one question is, if you were trying to get fully underwater in the Ice Barrel 300, is it possible? Once again, I'm 6'1", 210 pounds. It is possible, it's just a little bit of a different experience. So what you're gonna wanna do is cross your legs, kind of put your knees up to the top of the water line, grab your hat, and then go under. You're able to get underwater in both. You're able to get cold in both. I just wanted to show this off because a few people have asked, since I have both, to just do a small comparison. So I figured I'd go ahead and do that for you. And there you have it, my friends. Hopefully this was a review and a video that can help you if you're making a decision on purchasing your ModTub, or even if you currently own one, how to maintain it and how to really maximize your benefits using your ModTub. If you have any questions that I did not answer, pop them down in the comments below. I love to engage with my friends out there. If you would like to get yourself a ModTub, make sure you use the links down in the description below. Use discount code MAUS, that's M-A-U-S. I also have discount links for other cold plunge and sauna companies if you'd like to check those out as well. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day and God bless. Hey, before you go, if you have not seen the video where I compare and I set up both of these ModTubs, which the cold plunge and the hot plunge, go ahead and check out that video right here. You're gonna absolutely love it.